okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So I had to kind of make this video before I showed the picture, so it might not line up perfectly. But I want to say several things here, and I want to make this brief here. One of them is that our brains are wired naturally to need to be humble in order to have the clarity needed to see our life purpose in time before the natural alpha me dies, in terms of my body dying, my physical body dying. I don't speak in code. So why I could beat the monk in the picture and Jet Li and Bruce Lee and so on, so why I'm able to beat them, why I would beat them in their pinnacle even now if they stop fuming and poison me. I might injure myself, but I'd win the sparring match or the single combat, what have you. I might injure myself because they've been fuming and poisoning me for years. Has to do with, well, I'm going to use Bruce Lee as an example. Bruce Lee said that people need to balance their training with their natural instinct. And when you're the top martial artist ever possible, and that's me, mind you, then my natural instinct is greater than any training that could be. Any kung fu, karate, you name it. Because they're limited by their teacher's thinking and their willingness to subject themselves to their teacher's thinking. But they're also limited by me being the top martial artist ever naturally. Let me give you an example here. So a leopard is a very deadly and very insightful animal. An attack dog, there's something to be said about an attack dog. Say a German Shepherd. It can be very deadly. It can make some smooth maneuvers. But it's not as smart and deadly as a leopard is. So attack dogs could come together and try to discuss things together. Okay? And try to outsmart the leopard, but it wouldn't work because the leopard has a brain and body, mind, body, soul, spirit, we'll say, that goes beyond the dog's. So the leopard would just quickly to the neck, done. And so it is with the gentleman on the screen, this Asian gentleman, who is a warrior monk, I'd imagine. Shaolin Kung Fu, I believe, is his style, must be. Okay, he's even wearing the blue and the yellow, right? And there's somebody said, I like those colors. But he would lose because I'm faster on my feet, I'm smarter. He's accepted the spirit of putting faith in the religion that's close to him instead of looking at the world and saying, what must be right? And so as my brain causes me to fire away on him, he's blocking, he's doing angles, and I see his angles quickly, boom, 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 boom. Okay, I had the humility to look at the world and say, what is fair? And just like my predecessors, my forefathers, to attach myself to the top martial arts line. In all humility. Not letting racial preference or proximity to this, that, and the other thing get in the way. And so also my body's more built for striking combat. Right? So as he's striking out, I have certain muscle structure. I'm stronger than him where it matters most in certain ways. So I'm redirecting his blows, and I'm striking to his neck, his solar plexus is growing, and I'm breaking him down, striking to his knee. He's not as fast on his feet. Me having longer limbs can be a double-edged sword, but since I'm faster than he is and smarter, there's not much he can do. He can't leverage that. So I'm moving fast, boom, boom, outmaneuver. I'm outmaneuvering him better than Michael Jordan would outmaneuver Jet Li on the basketball court. I'm outmaneuvering him better than Sugar Ray would outmaneuver Fat Bastard from Austin Powers. Because there's certain natural differences that are downplayed because the world is racist. Now, I'm not saying this to insult Asian people or anyone else. I'm saying this so you understand what's going on. Martial arts, right? Striking, a striking resemblance. It's not called a ballerina resemblance or strength resemblance or an artistic resemblance or flexibility. It's called a striking resemblance and a spear. To spear, the arm is like the shaft of the spear and the hand is like the weapon, the tip, the spearhead on the spear. And so it is with the leg. And called the knife edge strike. The knife edge of the hand, rather. So, it's interesting when you compare Jet Li to the gentleman on the screen. But it's also important to note that I could beat them both and with weapons at the same time. And this is not some kind of cocky statement. The reason has to do with maneuvering. The reason has to do with humility. The reason has to do with attaching myself to universal pinpoint and moral precision rather than Buddhism in a Buddhism, where they have a certain human rules, customs, and traditions, and a certain theory, a theory in regards to how to reach a certain transcendent state, how to break what they would call the cycles of reincarnation, what have you. Where in reality, there is no reincarnation as such. There's souls being drawn in, right? Reincarnation is playing on words for raw incarnation, right? It's the spirit of God, the spirit of ancestors, but not a soul coming back to learn a lesson. This is a story for another day. And so, the inability for people who do Kung Fu and Karate and Taekwondo and Capoeira and Krav Maga and FMA and on and on and on, okay, Jiu-Jitsu, their inability to humble themselves and obey God through means see past being, focused on their art or trying to put their flesh first, their ability to beat up somebody and focus on character, blinded them to the purpose of life, and it's expressed through sparring, right? Spar it, spirit, spar and par. Martial arts are lifestyles. Are you up to par to be the top martial artist ever possible and to say, this is the way